because I'm streaming, it's it has a little lag to it, so I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes before I start. Oh, can I adjust this? We're doing Venus energy. I have to pull out Libra card too because we're not doing it by sign, we're doing it by planet. But we're doing Venus. Venus is Taurus and Libra energy. So it's like financial security and balancing out the scales to maintain your financial stability. Sorry. Shower up in my pee. I should have just left it alone. Sorry. Alright. I just wanted y'all to see. I just did the complete most, but sorry. Anyway, perfect. Let me sage a little bit. Clear out the old energy. Taurus. Oh, I gotta bring that page up for y'all. I'm streaming, but that's not what I wanted to show. This energy. Sage Royale. So I'm here, the Empress Royale. We are learning ourselves through astrology, numerology, through kind of the multiple ways in which I kind of used to tap in to the more spiritual side of things. Spirituality is about discovering uh, the unknown, the unknown, the darkness, I want to say the evils or the subconscious thoughts. It's like we get to answer those questions. We get answers to the psychological questions that we dwell on, when we're by ourselves, or, when people smoke or drink and stuff, and they just go to that next level and they have all of these questions like, well, why did this happen? If this happened, those, yeah. Okay, so we are talking about. Okay, so the day changed. We are in. It's May 18th energy. So Venus is right here. Let's highlight this. Venus is right here. Um, Venus is about Taurus and Libra energy. I kind of pre-shuffled to get the last Mars energy off of the table, but that was like a pre-shuffle. Um, Venus is Taurus and Libra energy. For the most part, that's like Taurus is dealing with material wealth, earth, everything that materializes on earth. Like you have a dream and you bring that dream to life. Every dream that comes to life deals with Venus energy. That's create when your creativity materializes into the natural world. So those are the things that we value. Those are the things that we want to provide security for. Those are the things that we want to educate ourselves on so that we stay principled and valuing we stay principled and valuing that which we have obtained. We want to cherish the things that are given unto us, but we don't want to allow ourselves to be wasteful with the things that we obtain, because we can gain it all but we can lose it all at the same time. And not only that, we succumb to materialism, which takes us away from us being able to grow spiritually. So it comes a point in time in your life where you're able to walk away from everything. That when you're able to walk away from everything that you have, that's when the universe can bless you with something better, something more. It's like you're closing one door in order for another one to open. But until you close the doors of the past, the future cannot exist. Okay, so Libra energy is about, you see the scales balancing out the scales. So the Taurian bull is more so like going full force head on towards your victory when it's time for you to like um, be focused on your finances and your material matters. Libra energy helps balance out the scales, because if if a Libra kind of like pops up in your life, it's like they're gonna swing you in a direction that'll help balance out the situation. So either like if a human being can't help you, the justice system will step in for you. If the justice system can't help you, a human being will step in for you. So when it comes to money and relationships, it's like people have to be very careful, because it's like a thin line between love and hate, right? And if Taurus is highly connected to Aries energy, which is the Mars, which is the god of war. So it's just like play with the right person's money, and they are ready to go to war for, over you. Like, and then is connected to Libra's connected to Scorpionic energy. So be mindful that Libras are capable of stinging and getting revenge or being vengeful and spiteful like Scorpionic energy. So people will betray their own relationship in order to gain financial success. So you have to be able to identify and distinguish between those who you can trust and those who you cannot trust. I kind of don't trust anybody, because that helps me distinguish who everybody is. I don't get totally attached, because there's always that gray area of a possibility of you losing um, a spouse. So you don't want to completely attach yourself to a person. You don't want to completely attach yourself to materialism, because those things are interchangeable and they can come and go as they please. People have free will, so they aren't obligated to stay into a committed relationship, but they may choose to. People have free will to spend and use their money in the way that they best seem fit, and anybody interfering with the free will of somebody, which God, intended for all of us, that's where conflict and chaos. The God of war and the God of Scorpio is coming in to sting you, so that there's gonna be uh drama regardless, so you have to be careful of when it comes to handling materialism in your relationships with people, when it comes to your success or your livelihood, especially when your livelihood is at stake, especially when things are life and death situations. Okay, so that's like off the top, like that's that was channeled energy. Um, we were talking about Venus. Venus energy. Venus energy within within ourselves. That's like the second step of evolution. It's like this. Let me get the major arcanas out this deck. If I pull, I don't know why this camera makes my arm look like a twig. Um, if I pull the major arcanas out this deck, I can kind of um explain this better. So let's say the first step is like Mars energy, where the magician comes in and things like kind of catch people by surprise. Be it good or bad, it's just that moment of endings or new beginnings that may catch people off guard. So, it's a point of transition. As we as children, we don't notice the effects that money has on relationships and things like that. Growing up as a child, we don't understand uh, the dynamic of material wealth unless you like grew up poor and around a lot of people who were wealthy, or unless you were, just like spoiled, or depending on the nature in which you grew up, it's like your relationship to money and materialism differs. So you may be mixed and around people who view money in a totally different way and dynamic than you do. You see? So it's just like, I want to pull this one out too. So it's just like when handling people or material wealth and success, you can't you can't you can't really kind of step on people's toes, because people's toes break and people need their toes to walk, use their feet so that they can survive. And if you're making it hard for somebody to survive, judgment comes, you know. So the first step was like Mars energy, knowing like when to go to war, knowing when not to go to war, knowing what's worth warring over and what's not worth warring over. You see, so when somebody is in an element of warring energy, it may catch a lot of people by surprise. It may catch the whole collective by surprise because it's just like, okay, what's going on? Why is this person in this strange energy? So step number two is like finances. Once you're able to control your anger and your emotions, and you're able to take the lead in your life, it's like you have to be able to use your discernment. And this is why I pulled these three cards out, because when you take in the leap of faith in your life, this is the Fool card. So it's like you're taking a leap of faith. Okay, we all become the fool, and we all take a blind leap of faith in life when it comes to our dreams. But we have to identify whether our dreams is a fantasy or is it something we're really trying to strive for. Okay, so once we take that leap of faith, we get hit with a surprise. We don't know whether this leap of faith is going to end up good or bad. It's like a business plan. It's like taking a risk in business, taking a risk in life. Period. You take that, you get surprised by the outcome. And if the outcome is good, you feel great. All right, you took a leap of faith on a business and it worked out well, and now you have to use your wisdom and your discernment to determine what information is kept to yourself, or what information is are you allowed to expose. Because when you expose that you have riches, when you expose that you're in a relationship, what element of surprise will come behind you and like your partners or whatever taking that leap of faith? That's what is important here, because once you take a full leap of faith on the plans and dreams and hopes for your life, you automatically have to step into the 3 and 4, which is the king, is the emperor and empress status, mode. You have to step into that element. You have to step into that mindset, because now you guys have something worth protecting. You see? So we want to protect our dreams. We want to protect our emotions. We want to protect our loved ones. We want to protect our ideas in those things, but we have to be able to protect what what it is that we're trying to accomplish in a manner that is safe and doesn't leave us vulnerable and open to attack. So who is Venus? Let's talk about the planet Venus, and the feelings you get when Venus is in your house. Right now Venus is in the house of Aries, okay? But Venus is about what I like. When you think about astrology and thinking about the sun and the moon and the stars, and you wishing on a star and you making your plans and you putting your energy out to the universe, it's like, what do I like? Mars energy is, what do I want? So Venus is like, what do I like? What would you like? What do you like? What do you want? What would I like? What do I want? What do I like? In order to get what you want, you have to know what you like. If you don't know what you like, how are you asking for what you want? Mythology, it's Venus is about more like a Roman goddess energy of love and beauty. So if you're like a Aries and you're born between uh April 20th, if you're born between like if you're born between April 20th, no, I can't even say that because Aries, yeah, so the beginning of April is Mars energy. So the end of April is Taurus energy. Okay? So Venus energy starts around April 20th, but it may affect those around April 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, all in that energy, like the cusp babies too. So this is like your feminine energy is attached to finances. Feminine energy is attached to money. Feminine energy is attached to wealth. So when you obtain wealth and materialism, it brings out like your inner beauty. Your inner beauty is expressed through materialism. So when we look at you, it's like we can see the things that you love just by looking at you. If you feel good within, you're beautiful without. So if you feel ugly within, you will feel and look ugly without, except you would try to mask the ugliness that you feel within with materialism or jokes and and distractions that allow you to mask how you feel on the inside because you aren't getting or experiencing what you truly like. So like this runs over into our fantasies and our and what arouses us and what we're passionate about. So we're tempted to do these things. We're tempted to do things that we know we shouldn't. Materialism and money and fame and wealth and power, it tempts us to do things that we shouldn't. You want to, because this is like as you gain um what you want, it's like you have to people come along with that, so you're drawing energy, you're drawing people into your life, and it's like you have to, when you draw people into your life, it's like you're fancying them and you're giving them something to be admired about. So they become lovers, they become funders, they become or consumers because they like what they see. They like who you present yourself to be. So you got to be careful about who you present yourself to be. You got to be careful about what you name yourself. You got to be careful about the label that you put on to yourself because it reflects the type of people, the type of energies, the type of relationships that that you attract to yourself. And this is where that element of surprise comes in because whatever energy you push out before you decide to take a leap of faith is going to come back to you. And it's going to catch you by surprise that you actually receive what you asked for. But then you have to use your intuition to to step into your power to manifest that what you just asked for. Like it's there, but it's just like, are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna use it? Like, what's the justice behind you obtaining this material blessing? Okay, that's Taurian energy. So being um Venus is like the people who hold the material wealth, and the people who can bring justice to situations have stepped up and taken that lead. They've taken the lead to bring justice to um, home based operations, home fronts. This number 4, number 46. Mother bonds, personal life, home based operation to overcome your difficulties. So for parents or mothers trying to overcome their duties, uh, this Taurus energy is taking the lead on materializing that which you need to help you move forward. So a collective of parents, mothers, or caretakers, whatever, they're getting justice. The those who have materialized justice is getting justice. They're in the house of those with materialism is getting justice. They're taking a lead in getting justice in a situation. For the wounded healers, those who have been wounded in the process of trying to save everyone else, sacrificing their time, energy, money, efforts, whatever, to help the collective move forward. And these people have taken the fall, so that, but they allowed the universe, or people who got their back, to step in and take the lead. When um, people can't defend themselves, yeah, there's the victory coming, because when people can't defend themselves, it's nice to know and see that someone is actually willing to step in and take the lead on a situation where people are either being bullied out of their material possessions. um, they're not able to be like independent enough. They don't have like the finances and things to fight against the adversity in their lives. So that's kind of the energy that's being pushed out today. um, we're doing Venus. Okay, we're doing Venus. Yeah, was aspecting aspect aspects are these lines. These are aspects. These are what these signs are connected to, and what energies they're like working with or against. So when you scroll down here, it shows you all the aspects. And right now we're talking about um Venus energy, which is 3 away from the moon. We didn't get there yet. But this is how you distinguish what's kind of going on with their aspecting with. Okay, so it said as Venus is aspecting with the moon. So mothers in relationships, like baby mama drama, that type of thing, slavery, communicating, people want to move forward, communication and forward movement, but they're healing from a relationship. So somebody's like needs to heal from a relationship dealing with a mother. Taurus need to heal from a relationship that they have with their mother. Taurus Venus, Taurus or Libra. Tauruses and Libras need to heal from childhood wounds because they were affected by their mothers. So we're dealing with a collective of children, us 80 babies who are dealing with trauma, childhood trauma set forth by our parents, what's been communicated, and how we handle our duties versus how they handle their duties is is at the forefront of all of this. How is people moving forward to heal a situation? Is it being, you know, can this person move forward? They can't work, but they want children. They don't have a fresh start to be communicating over the overcome of their duties, but because somebody, you know, can't work, should work, can't be work, you know. So it's something like that going on, but or somebody, you know, it's a sticky situation of somebody overcoming the obstacles to work, but somebody has like partner or something to work with. So why can't somebody take the lead over their own life, pretty much? So it's like put the fork in it already. Stick a fork in it already, because we know you're lying about a situation. So it's like, you know, that line is still there. It's like it's blocking communication. A lot of communication is being blocked. Why is communication being blocked? Why is a home being blocked? Why is a person not allowed to leave this home or something like that? It's like, it's so weird. They're forcing people. Um, see, it says Venus embodies the principles that like attracts like, but when we get signals of friction, like is not attracting like. Like is being manipulated. The likeness of someone is being manipulated when you're with somebody you just constantly clash with. There's no way people. How are people staying in situations that they're so uncomfortable with without there being some type of manipulation? Because people who are in their right state of mind know to walk away immediately from situations that is not like um, that in which makes them comfortable. You know what we wear, like we wear the mask. What we wear is about who we are. It expresses like who we are. It's more than who we are, but it broadcasts to everyone that you are somebody. And it's like when you put a face on somebody, it's like, do we want to sit down with this person or not? But when somebody look at somebody and say, hold on, this person's been independent their whole life, why are they so codependent now? It doesn't make sense. If this person has been codependent all her life, how did she become independent now? Questions have to be answered, you know? But when you got too many people in the pot, when you got too many people stirring the pot, when relationships are imbalanced, a lot of chaos can come in because it be too many people stirring the buttons and pressing buttons and pressing, you know. It's like get past what we see and get to what we know. Okay, because victory cannot be had if we're focused on materialism versus what's behind the materialism, what's hiding behind the materialism. You see, Venus' job is to hook the people, is to get them in. They make everything look good so that they grab them by the hook, and then they stuck, and then they just keep you on the hook, playing with you like you uh, a worm on the hook. If a worm, this is probably how worms evolved, because they realized they put them on the hook to die. So if they pop that little side of their body off, they still safe because their brain's still alive and the rest of their body can grow and heal back. You understand? So that's probably why they say a lot, because they realize they've been being put on the hook. So they learn how to cut themselves off the hook, swim away, and grow themselves a new body. Detox. Is cutting yourself off the hook. Detoxing your whole entire body cuts the cord from any and everybody that you've been attached to. Spiritual baths with like pure coffee and sea salt in it will clear detachments from toxic family members and toxic bonds that you were in. There's cord cutting, there's ways to detach from things that will help balance your life out. People like to make things look good to make it seem as if they're doing good, when the looking good just represents that the insecurities of how bad they really are doing. Because how much further in life can you actually get than your neighbor? How much further in life did you make it past your neighbor? You didn't, because y'all on the same block. If y'all on the same block and y'all are neighbors, y'all are making the same amount of money. Y'all have the same amount of bills. Y'all have the same amount of resources. Y'all are using the same exact resources. So how are you better than your neighbor? If your neighbor lives in a gated community and you don't, you're not better than your neighbor. That gated community neighbor is better than you. So how are you judging somebody who lives right next door to you? You guys are in the same exact boat and situation, in a probably in a place you don't need to be, with a person you don't need to be with. Something is, if it's something to complain about, but if you're doing good, you're not doing better than your neighbor. You guys are on the same exact level, because you wouldn't be there next to them. Like attracts like. So the level that you are on is the same level of your neighbors. Get out of an old way. I'm 36. I live in a house that's numbered way above my age. So that's telling me I'm doing things that's way above my age. Let me get back to doing things that are on my level. Everyone wants to be liked. Everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to travel. Everyone wants to move forward in life doing whatever they want to do. But you cannot do that without being prepared to do that. You're going out into the world without researching what's out there. You guys are researching destinations without researching environments, without researching seasonal patterns, without researching things that may cause detriments to your travels. You can't just make a plan without understanding the dangers that may come um, behind taking a blind leap of faith into a situation, especially at a time where nobody's supposed to be there. Like, if you look at this map, nobody is in the house of Libra. So why isn't everybody focused on a relationship? Nobody's in that house right now, okay? Everybody, nothing's in the house of Virgo. So nobody can do anything to really overcome their obstacles right now. Everybody's a slave to the game right now. Nobody's really a slave to anything. um it's kind of like every man for themselves right now. You know, people are enslaving themselves because if nothing's in this house is free to do what you want to do. So nobody's enslaving anybody. Everybody has free will right now. Everybody. Nothing's in the house of uh Leo. Children. Nothing's being created for children. Nothing in nobody's caring for the emotions and the creativity of the children if everybody's acting like a child. You understand? So and in the house of Cancer, it's like Lilith. Lilith is in the house. The culprit is in the house, home, communicating, talking about how. So it's like elders are talking about how how the young mothers are moving forward, moving away from home, taking the finances and moving away from home. And they're like, oh, they're losing their mind behind these things. But at the same time, it's like maybe they need to escape. Maybe they need to move forward because maybe they actually know what they're talking about when it comes to moving in a new direction, headed towards a new direction. What's wrong with materializing a new way of life after overcoming life lessons and comfort zones that they know trigger them down a path that they should not be on? You understand? So new mothers, it's like the new generation of parents are not doing things like their parents, which is causing their parents distress because they're interrupting the way that these new mothers and fathers are raising their children. And they cannot do that. Nobody told them how to be parents. They can't tell their children how to be parents. As a grandparent, you fix, you correct, you help, you guide. You do not take away somebody's ability to learn how to be a parent. How would they learn to be a parent without having children to experience that? So here we go to the combinations of Venus because we're getting a little in on time. When Venus is the same as your sun sign, it means you are like blindsided by love. You're blindsided by love. So Taurus, Libra people kind of distance themselves when it comes to love because of how they grew up. So they send off signals that mixed signals. They send off mixed signals. Um, they're surprised if somebody actually makes the first move. You know, they always have to be the one to make the move and make the gesture. They're actually surprised when somebody else does that. But they have to learn that people like to project energy that's people will project energy onto you that's not your own, and that will make you look and do things that's unnatural to you. Taurus and Venus, I mean Taurus and Libra make good partners because you guys are like the same. You're like you guys like mirror each other. You know, it's like y'all into like mirrors. Yeah, because y'all like looking at yourselves. I would say mirror magic, but y'all don't need to be learning about that type of stuff because that's the evil side of you guys. You guys know how to diffuse situations though, but after you start the situation, diffusing it makes you look bad. Y'all redirect conversations, and you guys get back to focusing on your own psychological baggage instead of helping other people through their baggage. People who are, let me see, Venus, let me see, Venus and Aries, y'all gotta be careful because this is like magnet. You're like a, it's all right. It's like a magnet for trouble, but it's like you're not. Even if this is like an Aries, you're not intentionally trying to cause trouble, but you have the ability to point out where trouble lies. You don't go looking for trouble, but trouble finds you. And when trouble finds you, you like to point it out. But you guys get caught because your emotions, your emotions is like 0 to 100. Shut up or shut down. You turned up or shut down. Yeah, y'all start trouble knowing you playing with fire, and it could wipe out a whole entire situation. You won't even apologize for it. It's like the more angrier these people get, the realer that's how real they are. If these people laugh, they're not in their real state. But if you get a Taurus and a Libra mad, that's the real them. Laughing, jokey them, that's not the real them. Take the opposite. If they're laughing and joking with you, take the opposite advice. But if a Taurus and a Libra is like angry, they're telling the truth. Venus in Aries is like a detriment to Aries because when they in this state right here, they will lose interest in whatever they get. So whatever they getting right now, they're not really interested in. Whatever they got, they're not even interested in. So you got to be careful with people like this. Like people take the lead on situations, don't care about the whole mission. They get what they want, and then it's like nothing else matters anymore. They don't care if you break up, make up, if it lasts, if it doesn't. It doesn't care. They got what they wanted. So we gonna sit here because in they're in a blissful state because they got what they wanted. They don't care if you got what you wanted. This is why you got to be matched with your likeness. People who go through what you're going through understand um, your dynamic, understand your situation. Somebody to be like the backbone to you because you will get involved in relationships with people who don't have the same drive and passion. They like that you're making money off of what you do, but they aren't passionate about the causes and ideas behind what you're doing. So they rather sit there and be eye candy and pretend to be supporting you when their voices aren't even being raised to 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 be opinionated enough for you to get the results that you need. When you and a partner is together, you guys are so powerful together. Partners are people are powerful together. God said, "When two or more are gathered in my name, magic happens." But when you are with a partner that's doing a whole lot of ungodly things, and you're trying to be on a godly path, making major godly things happen, that means a whole lot of spiritual blessings. You, child, you got to be matched with the right energy so that those materialistic things can materialize. If you're matched with somebody ungodly, you're gonna get a whole bunch of shit. You're gonna get a whole bunch of what the devil deserves. You're not gonna get what you deserve. You're gonna get what the devil deserves, because you're matched with devilish energy towards a cause that's for the greater good. So be careful of attaching yourself to things right now, because it may not be what you want. It may not be warm and fuzzy either. But this is a good time to tackle life challenges together with with collectives of people who um, share the same ideals and causes. Who you can associate with, because the fire will actually help keep the relationship alive when you're fighting together to um, tackle life problems. You guys can be warm and fuzzy to each other, but at the same time have that energy to go out and fight against the world. So Venus and Aries is like the longest running relationships are usually the most dramatic, full of breakups and makeups. So circumstances that prevent you from getting together. Being in a constant state of crisis keeps the blood pumped and adrenaline rushing. But that's not always a good thing. Crisis is not always a good thing. Everybody can't always be in a state of crisis. Like, when does the good come out of the crisis? Okay, heal from the crisis so that good can come out of it. You don't stay stuck in your crisis to get rewards. You're getting more crisis. Move past the crisis to receive a greater healing, blessed, clean reward. That's what that's what this energy is about right now. Let's taking a first step forward towards healing that would get you past uh, compromising situations that's uncomfortable, like emotional cliffhangers, that lead to like soap opera events. We don't want soap operas. We want real life, genuine, authentic, loving, caring relationships, equal give and take, that type of thing, bonding, you know, those type of things. We want those type of relationships. We don't want something that creates a lot of conflict, chaos, drama, and things that you gotta constantly heal from day by day, night by night. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't do nothing because you're thinking about constantly being put in a state of conflict because you're trying to achieve your goals in life. Let's get some messages to get past this Venus energy. Venus being Venus energy kind of irks me. It does at this point in life, because it's like, don't play on my intelligence. Don't play with the livelihood of my children. Like, don't play with none of that. Don't play with any of that. And I had dreams of even like family members trying to sacrifice my children. So I know, like, to be here to put the cloak over my children. Like, are y'all dumb? You forgot about your own children. You're sacrificing somebody else's children, forgetting that karma will come back to your own children. You think sacrificing somebody else's children is going to save your child and your grandchild? No, you just put your child and your grandchild at risk of being sacrificed as well. So new moon energy came out. Somebody's stuck right now because all the things that that is has been done in the dark is coming to light. Somebody's getting a victory that nobody saw coming, sees coming. They notice somebody does not value education, and they realize somebody else, independent person, is ready to take charge. Um, the emperor has stepped in to get to gain a victory, to help gain a victory. But somebody's going in. Somebody's going. Somebody's going. Where my pen? Deep within about a reality. Somebody has to face a reality. Um, the card says, "Do not face reality unless it is a reality you want to create. For any reality only exists because someone has focused it into being." And I love this card because what it says to me is that, you know, you create the life that you want to live. Okay, you create every experience in your life came out of the things that you've said. So if somebody asked you a question and said, what's your fantasy? And you described your fantasy, you just described a moment in your life that's going to come true. So if it wasn't a vivid and a good experience, then it, by the time that the mouth of you saying this is what I want, by the time it comes back to you, you forgot that you made that wish. Even if you were a child, or even if you were a young adult in your right state of mind, and you made that with high intention and feelings, it comes true. But if a bad feelings comes after you made that wish, a bad feelings is gonna come after that fantasy. You understand? So then you get into the point of you're out of the life of you're out of your fantasy life, but you're into the life of facing the reality of after the fantasy life. After you lived your fantasy life, what came out of what was left after your fantasy? What did you have left after you went and lived your fantasy? Once the fantasy is gone, once the entertainment is gone, once the finances is drained, after you got your victory, after you got your independence, what's left? What do you get after you've gotten your victory of living out your fantasy? Now what? Now you have to go back home. Now you have to face reality. You lived your fantasy, okay. Now what's the reality of you living your fantasy? Did it come with repercussions? Did it come with a good or bad element of surprise? So what turned out for somebody bad, it could be turning good, but what turned out for somebody, what somebody thought was turning out for good, could be turning out for bad, because this is illusion energy that we're in right now. Mars is in Pisces house, which means what you think you're getting is nowhere close to what you're actually going to receive. You're, whatever everybody's imagining right now, they're going to get the opposite of what they thought they was going to receive. That's what's going on right now. It's like a mirror effect, which I thought was going to be the outcome of a situation is going to be the complete opposite to us on a scale that y'all just did not imagine to happen. So materialism is about to become in contact with material, and spiritual is about to merge for a collective of, I want to call we may be the indigo babies. The rainbow baby. We're the indigo baby. We're the indigo babies. Spirit. Am I right? Yes, we're the indigo babies. It's like Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. What the heck is indigo? We are the indigo children. Like that color in between. Blue and violet is like that color in between. You almost ignore it because it's like you got blue, you got purple. Why do we need indigo? You need indigo in order to get violet. You need to go from violet to blue, you need indigo. To go from blue to violet, you need indigo. That's what it's like. Being in our generation, like we have to bridge the gap between the material and the spiritual world. So we're bridging the gap. The gap is about to be bridged. Because when it comes to love and money, that's in the lead right now. What's in the lead is love and money. The need for the love for money wounded a whole collective of individuals, but they took a step forward to move away from those losses, and now a whole collective in this Taurus energy is like about to have a whole life lesson dealt to them due when it comes to handling children and sacrificing children for their new beginnings. All the lies, all the deception, all the slavery, all of the patience and hands-on learning and overcoming, these toxic work environments and that type of thing. All these things have been highlighted. In multiple locations, these things happen. So it's just like these things are happening all over the world. It's happening to a whole collective of people. And now that we know what's going on, now we know where the lies and manipulation stems from. Now we can move forward, and because people have to learn their lesson when it comes to other people's finances and other people's security and what other people value and other people's health, and dealing with other people, interrupting other people's routines and their efforts to try to move forward and head in a new positive direction. There's no more interruptions in that. God is nipping that interruption in the bud. So we are safe people. We are freeing ourselves. So this energy passes by. This energy is passing by slowly. Taurus, Venus is in the house of Aries for, let's see, how long are we in this energy of, oh, not long. This is fluent energy, so they're always on the movement. So Venus energy is always on the go. So they're not even good people to be. They're kind of not really good people to be in relationships with because they're always on the go. Like they're searching for like the best thing out there. But by the end of this month, they'll be we'll be out of this energy. By the end of this month, everything will be sure. Everybody should be sure about what they want, who they want, what they like, what they don't like. You should be sure about the things you like and don't like, the things you want and don't want when dealing with relationships of all sorts with people. Like everything should be like nipped in the bud by the end of this month. You should have that clear set in your head by like, okay, May 28th. This energy is done. Should be passing us by. But that's where we're at today. But that's something to take into consideration moving forward whenever Venus is in the house of Aries. Okay, let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we can go. Somebody's like is not their child or something. Mm. Somebody don't want to take action to help children. Somebody's not taking action to help children. There's a death coming to a situation or a person or something. Somebody doesn't value education or something. Yeah. My kidneys are affected or something. It's like a death coming to something. Somebody tried to kill somebody or putting an end to somebody. Somebody's in their emotions about a house, but the secret is out because they're not family and they should have walked away. So now somebody's tight because somebody took action and they don't want this new beginning anymore. Okay, so somebody don't want a new beginning because it was just too much drama going on. Somebody was ready to take charge, but the child is not with them, and now is a good time to focus on achieving your own personal needs. So they're moving towards personal needs as opposed to being in relationships. Well, love, loyalty, honesty, and respect is the Empress Royale, and I will be back with another one.